Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 180 of Shacknews Presents Pop Goes the Culture. I'm Donovan Erskine, news editor at Shacknews, and I'm joined as always by Greg Burke, our illustrious head of video,
Head of
not head of
editing.
editors.
That's
That'd
correct
be a
too. Head of
very,
editing is
yeah,
correct.
be a very different, yeah, head of editing. It's 2026. It's our first show of the technically still a new year. It's still January. We're only halfway through the month. We're back. We're back. It's our first show in I think a full month. We last started our show around December 16th, I think. So here we are. How was your
Oh my god, it has been a month. You're right,
time
a
away?
full month.
Yeah. hmm 4 weeks. Uh Year is young, but you've already been out and about. You were at CES last week. What'd you get into there and then even during your break?
Oh, just I took time off. I tried to play some games, but I ended up doing a lot of housework. I cleaned the gutters. I had to rearrange our closets because they were disgusting, and like we did it, threw a bunch of stuff out and gave a bunch of stuff to Goodwill. A lot of housework. Fixed some stuff, painted some stuff, like the house. And then went to see. Then
Yeah.
literally Monday came and I went straight to CS. So like there was no like, I that's why I don't like CS. It's so early in the year. Like I have no time to kind of get it and get settled. And so like I'm just and I'm gone for 3 days.
Yeah.
But lots of
Yeah, you
robots
and
that aren't
Ozzy.
ready for public. That's the big one. That was the big thing.
Yeah, every year CS seems stranger and stranger. I've never been, but I always see all the videos you and Ozzy get from there, and yeah, it seems like a fascinating place. Um, but yeah, my break was similar. I did some gaming. There's like this weird thing that happens every year where like in the weeks leading up to break, I'm like, oh man, 2 weeks, I'm gonna play so many games. I'm gonna like do all these things. And then like I look up and there's like 2 days left in break and I'm like, I've played like two games. Yeah. So I don't know. Things
you
always come up or always other stuff going on.
you
But
play. You're like, oh, I had 6 weeks to play games. I played nothing.
yeah, it's almost like I've heard people say like, it's almost like when you know you have off or whatnot, it's almost like the day before is better than the actual day off. It's like the anticipation of break is sometimes even better than like the break itself. Just in terms of like me doing stuff. But I had a good time. I watched a bunch of movies as I do. I was chilling, didn't do too much. Saw some friends, saw some family.
Hopefully,
But
we'll review some movies on today's show, but not the dog movie, not the dog horror movie.
no, did not watch Good Boy. That dog was nominated for an award. I don't know if you saw this. He was nominated. Which show was it? I think it was Critics' Choice. They nominated the dog. Might be one of the other ones. But yeah, this was a hot button issue in the film community. But I think you should watch it. You should subscribe to AMC Plus and watch it.
Oh, that's why it's on like the we were talking about this before the show, like how there's just too many streaming services and it's really obnoxious when we want to watch one specific thing and it's on like the most obscure one. Or better yet, it's on a live TV syndication contract. It was like that with Westworld. I'm like, oh, I'll show Nicole's mom Westworld, and like I was like,
Yeah,
it's a Warner Brothers TV, not on HBO Go. Well, where is it? It's not anywhere. It's on a live TV schedule that you had to subscribe to. So like it lost completely. You can't stream it on demand. So we just bought it on Amazon. So because we're
there you
like,
go.
that's
Look at that.
ridiculous.
You bought on Amazon. That's
Ridiculous.
what we need to go back to. Let's go back to the old
Ridiculous.
days where we
Yeah.
just rented the stuff we wanted to watch or bought it outright, and then it doesn't matter. But we're gonna get into our reviews and stuff later. For now, let's jump into our story rundown because first up, Greg, we had a couple of Prime Video related stories. Speaking of streaming, and you just mentioning buying things through Amazon, yesterday they announced that Ryan Hurst is going to be playing Kratos in God of War. He's been cast as the video game character. Now, Ryan Hurst was Thor in God of War Ragnarok. He's also been in Sons of Anarchy. He was in The Walking Dead, like in the later years. Done a bunch of TV and movie stuff. They put out an image of him face to face with Kratos because he's going to be playing him in the live action show. But that's not all. This morning, they posted the first image of Sophie Turner as Lara Croft because they're also doing a live action Tomb Raider show. And I believe that's already started production. And we got our first look at both of these actors. One all the way in costume, ready to go. The other one just in like a jacket. But
The other one,
yeah,
not so much.
yeah.
He
But
has
it's
a
interesting. I
great
think at this
jacket.
point,
Look at this beautiful jacket.
yeah, I think at this point though, Amazon's kind of like prepared to become the place for video game shows, right? Like they've got Fallout. Fallout's probably the best one, like already. If they can just imagine, a world where they have a great Fallout show, God of War show, and a Tomb Raider show. I think that would immediately make them like the go-to best spot for like a video game show, right?
Yeah,
Seems like
I
they're,
just, like
you
I
know,
talked about this on the show before, like with like video games are the next trend. Like there's always trends in Hollywood, whether it's westerns or musicals or superheroes, which lasted way too long, and now we're finally moving into video games. Like this is the next trend. The Mario movie did fantastic. Fallout's getting like critical acclaim, and like we're gonna start seeing all these other people make their own shows now, including Amazon's got Yakuza. I think Yakuza's still being in production. God of War,
right.
and I'm sure we'll see other things. The Sonic movies
Netflix
made
doing
a shit ton of
Assassin's
money. Five
Creed.
Nights at Freddy's made a crap ton of money. Like just this is the next trend. We're moving away from superheroes into video games. This is the next trend. This is the
Well,
next
I don't know if we're
phase.
moving away from superheroes. I don't know if you've seen over break. They dropped a bunch of those Avengers teasers, and those things got like 100 million views. I think people are still gonna show up. And James Gunn's just getting started. What do you mean, Superman?
Mm.
We got more DC comic stuff. We're about to have our cake. We're about to have 5 cakes. I don't know. We'll see.
You'll have a few. I
But
don't think you.
I
I mean, like, but like at its peak, right? You were. I feel like every year and a half we were getting two more superhero movies plus spin-offs. Like I feel that's gone. I feel like now you get the big ones, right? You get the I don't even know what it's called. The
right.
Doomsday movies, the one big one. You're not gonna get 10 of those. It's not gonna reset. They're hoping it resets. It's not gonna reset the MCU. Like this is it. Unless you get Robert Downey Jr. back every single time, this is not happening. Like this is not gonna keep happening. Like they want it to, but I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. I think that movie is gonna be huge. I think it's gonna be the highest earning movie of the entire year. But we'll find out in December. And I think that I don't. I think with video game IP, it's that it's more of like it just feels like more of a TV thing. Like the Sonic movies and the Mario movies are like the big ones that like bust the box office, right? They're the ones making like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, a billion in the Mario movies case. Um, no other like gaming IP has shown that star power. Like you look at our biggest video game IP outside of Mario and Sonic, and it's like The Last of Us is huge, but like they made that a TV show.
Yeah.
This is not a movie. Like um, even like Fallout. It feels like TV is where like the majority of these video game franchises are kind of finding their footing. But
I would argue
I don't
that
know.
that Five Nights, Minecraft, and Mario all like did stupid numbers. Like those movies did do like
They did. I forgot
ridiculous
about
numbers.
Minecraft. Minecraft was good.
Yeah, and like, but
Minecraft was
like
great.
I would argue too, like if Fallout was a movie, it would have done stupid numbers. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
just
but the thing is that it's not though. They
yeah,
didn't do it. They made it a show. Like they picked their choice. Where it's like it feels like the event stuff, like the superhero stuff. They do TV as well, but like when it's time to be like the biggest thing of the month, like their movies, they're breaking records, are doing the thing. Not like you brought up Minecraft's a good one because Minecraft made ungodly amounts of money, so that'll probably be a mainstay, I think, in that space. But I just think it's interesting. They've kind of carved like niches almost. It feels like Fallout is so good that it's got people that don't play the video games watching it, which I think is so fascinating.
oh yeah, and
What
it's
that
gotten like
perspective
people who
must be
play video
like.
games like just going down the conspiracy hole of oh they're it's a synth. I'm like they're not gonna introduce something that people have no idea what it is. Like it's there are some things they do in the show that are like that, but I mean they're going like real far down the conspiracy rabbit hole of like all this stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, no, no, hold your
Yeah.
hand. I like how it's like
Well, hey,
they can't
that's
just throw all that stuff at you at once. It's got to be a slow introduction to this world because the world is bombastic, and if you
mhm.
do all that stuff at once, it looks ridiculous.
Well, that's the fun of TV, right? Is the like week to week theorizing and whatnot.
Yes,
What's up, Richie
yes.
Dobra? Yeah, that is part of the appeal. And then to talk about the other casting here, Sophie Turner is Lara Croft. This one should be exciting. I think one, I think Sophie Turner is a great actress. Looks really cool in this that they're doing like the classic OG looking like Lara Croft with the light blue shirt. She's got the sunglasses and whatnot. Should be good. She's a great actress. Tomb Raider specifically is like an IP that's already like been everywhere. They've already done multiple Tomb Raider movies and TV shows, plural. So this is not like a first crack like we saw with like a Fallout or like a God of War. This is, I think, she'll be the third actress in live action to play Tomb Raider, after Alicia Vikander and Angelina Jolie. So it'll be interesting. But again, Prime Video, I think that Fallout is like their biggest advertisement for gaming stuff, right? Where it's like, yeah, I have no idea if these shows are going to be good, but I mean, if the people who were giving thumbs up to all the Fallout stuff are involved, and I have some high hopes. Greg, are you interested in checking out a God of War or a Tomb Raider TV show?
I mean, like Tomb
Given your
Raider. No, I
Fallout
was
love.
never a Tomb Raider kid. I remember playing the games on PlayStation, and I remember them being revolutionary at the time for the graphic fidelity, but the controls were like asinine. Like they were terrible. The
Tank.
sidestepping, they were real bad. I don't know if you've ever played the original ones on PlayStation. They were real bad. Uh,
No.
and I never got into that. I never got into that as a genre. They did that movie with, they did the movie with Angelina Jolie, and it was
Yeah.
okay. Like it was not very Indiana Jonesy. It was more just like typical early 2000s kind of copy
That
paste
was from
action.
that era of superhero,
Yeah,
excuse me,
yeah.
video
So
game
like, I
movies.
mean,
Yeah.
it made a bunch of. I know it made money. That was the most important thing. And then I know they've also rebooted the franchise twice, just once. They did the reboot, right? The Crystal Dynamics ones, where it's like more
Oh,
serious,
the
more
Crystal Dynamics
grungy.
trilogy, very good games. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
like, and it's interesting. I think like it's gone through, and now there's almost two different games now. Like they're introducing another Lara Croft game that's like a puzzle game that's more of the PS1 era, and they're continuing the story of the remake. Sorry, the soft reboot games, the new trilogy. So I mean, think it's interesting.
yeah,
There's certain IPs that I feel like do really well storytelling wise, like God of War and like the new Tomb Raider trilogy. That like I almost feel like they don't need a movie, and a movie almost will be a disservice. Because the reason why Fallout works so well is you're not following the game. You're not following a protagonist from any of the
yeah,
games. You're following brand new original characters that they created for the show. Sure, there's characters in the game in there, sure, but like that they're not the focus. You have the ghoul. You have three main characters. They're all original characters. You never see them in the games at all.
yeah.
So I think that's why it works so well. When you have something like God of War or Tomb Raider, you kind of have to follow the games in some capacity. So I don't know.
Mhm.
I was just never a Tomb Raider guy, and like create like God of War. That series is told so well. Like I mean,
Boy,
I feel like yeah, I feel like at that time, like this wasn't like the 1997 or 98 where like games looked really bad and couldn't really tell good stories or tell good stories but looked terrible or had terrible voice acting. Like I feel like they're caught up now, and I don't know. I feel like it's a risk, but Amazon's going to throw money at it and people will watch it. But it can fail catastrophically. Look at the second season of Last of Us. That just everyone hated it. It went from like being this great show that everyone watched. The second one, just the majority, like I say, everyone, the majority of people disliked the creative changes and didn't like the way the show was headed. So it's interesting. Amazon is leading the charge, though, as you said, for video game adaptations. Warner Brothers has Last of Us. They're probably dabbling in other stuff. And I can't think of anything else that's going on TV that's not Amazon. Yakuza's Amazon. Like everything is. That's where the money is. That's where all the production money is.
mhm, yeah. Netflix has their hand in some. They're doing Assassin's Creed. They announced the BioShock thing like 3 years ago, but we never haven't heard anything about that. They've got some stuff cooking, but yeah, I think Amazon's still the leader in that camp. But it'll be interesting to see. I think, yeah, a big strength of the Fallout show is that it's not following characters from the
Yeah.
games. It's like that world, but its own story. Whereas the God of War show is going to follow Kratos, and the Tomb Raider show is going to follow Lara Croft.
Yeah.
That said, I feel like Tomb Raider has a little bit more wiggle room for story creative liberties. You can kind of tell an original Lara Croft story without like offending too many people. I think so. I'm very curious what they do with that character because I mean she is still I think video game Mount Rushmore when you look at iconic protagonists. So definitely
Right
some room
place, right
for
time. Right. I mean, like
Ms.
one
Croft.
of the few. I think one of the few characters that have withstand that test of time. Right. Because I don't think my
Yes.
nephew knows
Yeah.
who Crash Bandicoot is. I don't think my nephew knows who Master Chief is, but he knows who
Yeah.
Lara Croft
But
is.
it's I
You
know
know.
Evan. Yeah. Well, that's definitely a deeper conversation as to why nobody can recognize Master Chief these days. But I'll save it. Uh, Sticking with the Fallout topic, Greg.
Wait.
You love Fallout, the game series and the TV series. Would you like to compete in a Fallout reality show?
No,
Fallout Shelter?
I hate reality TV with a fiery passion. It's awful.
Greg, but Greg, the casting call is open now until February 15th. They're doing a 10 episode run where you can live in a shelter and be managed by other people. And it'll be a test of here. You know what? I actually wrote the article, so I'm just going to read from the synopsis
Yeah,
here.
read your
The
article. Wait, hold on.
dwellers,
Let me click it. Hold on.
uh, the show synopsis is as follows: The dwellers live together in a top secret vault where they will compete in a series of games that test The 7 core attributes from the Fallout world: strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, and agility, and luck. Special, as you may recall as a Fallout player. But, Greg, the series will not only test dwellers' core attributes, but also their loyalty and alliances. It's a game of power dynamics, popularity, and social strategy, which will ultimately result in a huge cash prize. But do you have what it takes to be the most special? They're casting now. You will live in a vault where people manage different rooms, and you all wear the blue jackets on Amazon.
Oh no, thanks.
No, I can't. I can't.
I love that so much.
I've worked in reality TV. I've had friends who work. First of all, like for public service announcement, 99.9% of reality TV is fake. Conflicts are staged, stories are written. Because if you have no conflict, it doesn't make for good TV. They realized this when they were filming reality when they started to film reality TV. So they have to force conflict in somehow if there's no conflict.
You know what creates conflict organically is trapping a group of people that don't know each other in a small space.
Right, but if they all get
That'll get the
along,
arguments
then there's
going.
no drama and
They
it's not good
won't.
television. Right? Well, they
A
won't.
group
Yeah,
of
they
a group of
like
a group of strangers locked in a room can't get along for too long, especially when they have cash prizes on the line.
cash prizes. Yeah.
They start
So
arguing with each other.
that's my big thing with reality TV. That's because I'm too close to it. I edited in it. It's very interesting world, that show. Another thing too is like I feel like they're doing that thing. To quote George Lucas, is when something gets really popular quickly, people tend to overdo it. They're overdoing it already. Like they're starting, like I'm waiting every day since the popularity of the show, Donovan, to have for them to announce for Amazon to be like, here's the spin-off, here's the animated series, here's the comic book, here's the graphic novel, they've already done game tie-ins, right? And like now they're doing a reality show based in the Fallout universe. Just step, you have a hit show. Let's just step back. Let's just go very slowly moving forward. Let's not completely oversaturate everything and make me hate it. Like let's just step back.
It's It's so funny because for those who don't know, Fallout Shelter is already a video game. Like this is it's the mobile game, the management sim that came out like what 5 years ago at this point,
Yeah.
which I actually believe is moderately popular. Fallout Shelter, I think they have an old scrolls version of it too, where you just manage vaults and stuff. And they've got a full. I'm looking at the application website now. There's a shit ton of like stuff to fill out. Seems like a real chore. But Greg, you could be on there. Think of how good the content would be for Shacknews if you like got into this and brought a GoPro, and then
If you want to get in a reality TV show, like do the casting and act crazy, like just be bombastic
I
and be
am.
over the top and just be
Yeah.
like the most over the top personality you can be, and you will get a call. You might not get on the show, but you definitely like get like an in person casting stuff because
Remember?
they want personalities. They don't want normal people. They want people who are insane.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's entertaining. Remember
It's
when
entertaining. Yeah.
Netflix did the Squid Game reality show, and then like
Ugh,
after it came out,
yeah.
people were like, "We were neglected on set and like mistreated. We didn't like get
Yeah.
food and like they like." Okay, I was gonna make a joke and say they beat us. I don't think anyone got beat, but people were saying they weren't taken care of
No.
on
Yeah.
the set of the show. Yeah,
Also, for me
uh,
personally, that Squid Game reality show, like that, just the that
which
show, that first season was so powerful and had such a powerful message, and then when you do shit like that, I feel like just diminishes the message.
do
Like,
you not do you feel that way about Fallout? Would you rather do the be on the Fallout reality show than the Squid Game one? Is this one less morally corrupt?
yes, less morally corrupt. Yeah, absolutely, like 100%. Like in Fallout's a bombastic universe. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be ridiculous. Like it's not trying to
Yeah.
teach. It has lessons in it a little bit, but it's not trying to teach you a lesson like the like Squid Game did. Right? It wasn't as so. I would, yeah, that's
Fallout has a
lesser.
similar message to a lot of post-apocalyptic stories where it's like humans are the real monsters.
Humans are
Like
the real
there's a lot of that
monsters.
going on.
Corporations are bad. Corruption runs
Yeah, a
deep.
lot of
Yeah.
corporate overreach, which again, Amazon making the show. The same people that produced the Beast Games reality show. So there's that. I think from their perspective, now that they've done a couple of these, reality shows are probably just an easy way for them to one engage the community
Yeah.
because it's something that everyone feels like they can be part of because anyone can fill out an application and watch week to week and you can tweet at those stars and whatnot. But also, I think from a production standpoint, one of my least favorite things about modern TV, and I didn't come up with this criticism, a lot of people say it, it takes fucking forever to make a season of TV now. Every
Yeah.
show is like one season every 3 years. Stranger Things just finished its fifth season in 9 years. Like TV just didn't work like that before. And I think if you own an IP like Fallout and you know that hey, the show's only getting more and more popular, that cast is only getting more and more popular, season three's been greenlit, but maybe internally they're like, it ain't coming out in 2027. Do we really want to, you know, wait 2.5 years and be like, hey guys, you still care about Fallout? If we can just chew up and spit out a reality show in 2027, it's not the show, but it's something that makes people check in. They're locked into it. Maybe Walton Goggins comes on for a guest episode to judge a test or something. Like it'll keep the community engaged. It's like what do you call it? Like something that tied you over. Right? It's like a snack. It's like, all right, well, this isn't the Fallout show, but it's like a Fallout thing you could watch on Amazon between the 2.5, 3 year gap between TV seasons because it's like making movies now.
I think the
I think
games
that's
help with
part of
that.
the
The games
strategy.
help with that in between the seasons because there's
Where are
rumors.
the Fall? Do you think a Fallout game's coming out between the next two seasons of the show?
There's rumor that at the end of the season because there's a countdown
Oh, you
clock.
know what? Remaster. Yes, I can see a remaster
That's
thing.
that's
Yeah.
that's the that's I don't like I said like that's all rumors. There's nothing's been confirmed. It's people how false information spreads. It's a rumor that it might now. People are arguing no, it's Fallout Shelter. No, it's a Fallout 3 remaster. Right? Like we all want a remaster of New
Well,
Vegas or Fallout 3, but it may be a Fallout Shelter DLC. You know what
I
I mean? We don't
mean,
know.
they're definitely going to remaster Fallout 3. And this is not me reporting things as a game journalist. This is just me following
Yeah, it's
breadcrumbs
definitely
and
gonna happen.
somebody
But
paying
when?
attention
When
to
is the question? Yeah.
smoke. Yeah, it's just when. I don't know if that's what the countdown is, but that's definitely a thing that's going to happen. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I saw this and I was like, of course. I was like, of
Yeah, I
course
mean,
they're
you're
gonna fucking
because you're right. You're dead on.
Fallout
Like
on the
it's
show.
easier to produce. Like when I use the word easy, I don't use it lightly, but it's quicker and easier to produce something like this
Quicker
than
turnaround.
another season of Fallout. Like it just is. It's
Again, TV production has gotten so out of hand. I'm going to talk about it during our review segment because we're going to review two TV shows that have very long production cycles. But it's just part of the monster now. Yeah, if they could make Fallout every year, they wouldn't even have. They probably wouldn't even have done this. But it's because they know that season three is going to be in probably fucking
I mean,
2028 or something
Magic the
ridiculous.
Gathering just announced like a secret lair drop, specifically show inspired. Like it's already starting to seep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's already starting to the popular.
Hey,
It's so popular. Like it's number one in the U.S. right now and currently on Amazon Prime Video. It's seeping its way into
yeah.
everything, and I've seen that. I mean, I've seen this happen multiple times with multiple properties, and I just wish people would just scale it just a little bit back. Still capitalize on the popularity, but just slow down because you end up if you do too much too fast, you can hurt the quality of the brand, you can hurt the quality of the opera. You can the worst part is it can fragment the fan base. When you get it's almost like what's it called like factions like in the game of Fallout. You get different factions. You have different factions in Star Wars now, right? You have people who love the prequels, hate the prequels, love the new movies, hate the new movies. Like they're like divided, like their universe divided. So if you do that too quickly, too fast, I feel like that can happen with a fan base. So just one reality show isn't too bad. I'm not, I mean, that's but like when you start making animated series spin-offs and in-game universe spin-offs with weird characters, like that stuff can get burned out. You can get burned out really quickly. So just, I'm just saying if Amazon's listening, clearly Jeff Bezos watches the show. Uh
Amazon's listening. Please
just
kill Jeff
just
Films.
just go slow.
I,
Like you have this great lightning in a bottle thing. Let's go nice and slow. Let's not give this the Marvel treatment. Let's go nice and slow because people burnout is real and like you can fumble and it can hurt the brand. So
Yeah, I guess it's just my thing to play our favorite game here on Pop Goes the Culture, Devil's Advocate. I don't know what is slowing down like truly entail because it's like you own a thing or you like make a thing and people love it and people are telling you how much they love this thing you made and you make more of it and you give it to them. It's like I guess to me it's like the rushing only becomes an issue when the quality is bad. Like it doesn't. I don't feel like they're rushing the show. It feels like they're just making it
no,
on like
no.
their production timeline, and it's coming out, and people are liking it, and they're gonna keep making more seasons of the show because people like it. And if the show got zero views, they would have canceled after season one. It's like I don't know. I mean, if they were like, we're doing a double season, it's gonna come back by the end of this year. We're recasting the lead because Ella Purnell's not free. Then it'd be like, all right, we've got an issue here. But it feels like they're just moving along at a very normal pace here. Because I mean, at the end of the day, the reality show will probably be like random disposable bullshit, but it's not the Fallout show. Like it'll come out, it'll be whatever, but it won't have anything to do with season two or three or whatnot. Um,
No,
I don't know.
I
I
feel
mean,
like the best way to longevity this series is do it like American Horror Story did. Like American Horror Story, every season was a completely
you want
different
them to do
story.
different characters,
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like Fallout can work in that
but now
because like
everybody loves the Ghoul and Lucy
that's true. And like, but when their
and
arc is
Maximus.
done, you can move on to new characters that they don't have to be the Golden Lucy.
Yeah,
It can be someone different. It could be someone who it could
I
be
mean,
anybody.
the fallacy of a TV character's arc ever being done. Your arc is done when the show's over, buddy.
When
That's how this
you're
works.
dead, and now we can bring you back, so you can't even rest in peace.
Yeah. Um, will be fun. I think we're gonna see one of these characters in Fallout 5, is my prediction. Todd Howard had that really like interesting quote where he was like, Fallout 5 is gonna exist in a world where the events of the game have happened. And I'm like, is that so, Todd? So I feel like there's gonna be an Easter egg where you walk up to like an old lady and she's like, Okie dokie, I'm Lucy, and I'm a grandmother. And it won't even be Ella Purnell. It'll be like her likeness, but it won't be her voice or something. Yeah, there's gonna be tie-ins. They already put Walton Goggins in Fallout 76, so that ball's already
They
rolling.
did, and they're like those collaborations are like harmless, right? Like they make sense. They're in the
I
world.
like
Like,
it. I
yeah,
got no beef with it. Yeah,
I've not played that yet.
yeah,
I played 76. I have not had time to play 76. But no, you're right.
it's
Like
cool.
I
It's
think that's a cool thing. Like Fallout 5 is a decade away, if not more. It's like 12 years away. Like
yes, yeah.
like these people want the problem is like I remember when Fallout 4 came out, people wanted it 5 immediately. I'm like, dude, these games take several years, probably longer now because they're getting more technical. Like these things take 10 and they're not working on that right now. They're working on the next Elder
Elder
Scrolls.
Scrolls.
So it's
Hell
at best it's
yeah!
in pre-production. At best it's in pre-production. At best.
I guess you're more of a Fallout than Elder Scrolls guy, aren't you?
I like
But you love fantasy
fantasy. I
though.
like fantasy. Yeah, I am just because I think post-apocalyptic genre is more rare. I think it's more interesting, and VATS makes it stand out too. Like the two things, the genre and the VAT system, make it really unique.
Okay.
Because like
Is
Elder
it? I was
Scrolls,
just
like
thinking
the
about it.
world is very. I'm not a fan of the world. I like the game. The game's great. I like the quest. I love
It's
the
fantasy
mechanics.
world.
But the
Yeah.
world, yeah, it gets really weird. Like they explode it in the card game. I've read some comics. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm just not my
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
not my
I was
bag.
thinking 'cause I know you're a fantasy guy, but I'm thinking I'm like he doesn't collect Elder Scrolls stuff like he does Fallout stuff. You
Yeah,
don't
the
have
just
a goat cheese wheel.
yeah, that world building isn't as interesting to me, I guess, as like Warcraft is. Just it's just not as interesting.
Sure. That's right. You already got your like stake in different fantasy worlds already. Yeah,
Which
well,
Warcraft
look,
just blatantly stole like Lord of the Rings lore. Like that's what they did. Like they just blatantly took the
I
Silmarillion
mean, yeah,
and just
that's,
turned
you
it to
know.
their own thing. So they that's because that was
Lord of the
arguably
Rings is
the cornerstone of fantasy is its
I was
wiki.
gonna say Lord of the Rings is like so old and so widespread popular that you can find its DNA in any good fantasy thing that exists. But yeah, well hey look, I'm trying to think, am I the only guy on staff who's like Elder Scrolls over Fallout? Sam Chandler might be Elder Scrolls guy. I don't know. Bill's a diehard Fallout 4 guy. Well, you guys have fun in 10 years.
I
I'm getting
like
Elder
both.
Scrolls 6 this decade, baby.
Are you asking me like I have to choose? I like both, but like I feel like Skyrim is peak right now. Like the last one's always peak because they learned from so much from their past games.
Right.
Skyrim is peak Elder Scrolls, and I
Peak.
think New Vegas is peak Fallout, not 4. So like there's like different. It's interesting, different takes on the different games.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's gonna be a Fallout Shelter reality show, and if you all feel so inclined, you should audition, sign up, send in your video, and have a great ass time doing it. But, Greg, before we get to our next story, which I'm excited to talk about, I want to remind folks to follow Shacknews on all platforms: Twitter, Instagram. What in the world was that?
Sorry,
Facebook,
I was
Twitch,
trying to give you like
YouTube.
a thing. Okay.
It sounded like a notification on like a flip phone. Um, all of the places on the internet. Find us on YouTube because, Greg, we've got not one, not two, but 3 YouTube channels. Can you tell us how things have been going over in the YouTube streets?
Yeah, we actually ended the year with an interview. Donovan, you interviewed the artist who wrote the song in Dispatch.
Dude, can I talk about this?
Yes,
I haven't been able
please.
to talk about this on video. I
What a
don't care.
great way to end the
Like,
year.
break this shit out. Yes. So last year, Dispatch comes out. It comes out in October. Um, and they do the episodic release. So it comes out 2 episodes a week, multiple weeks. And in the third week, I think it's episode 6, there's a party scene. And something cool Dispatch does is it uses a mix of original soundtracks and licensed music throughout. But all the licensed music in Dispatch are like deep cut indie songs that like I personally I had never heard of. I'm sure somebody played it and had heard of them. But it's songs that you like find on YouTube and they've got like 30,000 views or like 80,000 views. Like whoever was curating that soundtrack, who I still haven't tracked down, like needs an award themselves. But there's a song in episode 6 called Radio, and it's the best song in the game in my opinion. Clearly, a lot of people's opinions when I tell you this metric. But it's by the singer named Bershi, and I heard it, and I'm a man of the arts. I listen to a song in a movie or a game. I'm immediately Googling the lyrics. I'm like, what is this song? I want to add it to my Spotify. I find this song, I pull it up on Spotify. It's got like a few 100,000 listens or something like that. And it becomes essentially overnight, Greg, a phenomenon. The song becomes like synonymous with Dispatch because I'm not going to spoil it, but the scene that it's used in is so good. And not only is the song so good, the scene's so good, it elevates the scene, but Dispatch itself kind of became like a phenomenon. And this artist, this independent artist, Bershi, was in school to learn to be a massage therapist because she had stopped trying to pursue music because it wasn't working out. And then her song is in Dispatch, a video game about redemption and legacy and second chances. This song now, as I look at Spotify, has 26 million streams right now. And she went back into music. And me, I'm like, this is such a cool feel good story. I read a news article about it. I'm like, wait, has anyone talked to this woman yet? I was like, can we find her? So I find her Instagram. To give you some game for any aspiring reporters out here. This is how you do it. I go to her Instagram. I DM her. I'm like, hey, I want to talk to you about this game. Blah blah blah. No response. 1 or 2 days. What's that? Her agent email bio. Find the agent email. I'm like, a week later. I'm like, they're not gonna reply. They find the reply a week later. They're like, hey, she's interested. Hop on the email chain. We do an interview. We have a Zoom call. We talked for like maybe 10 minutes. Super quick interview. She was super nice. I talked to her about making the song. She told me about her reaction seeing it in the game. She said that it was like a year in advance that they got like the rights to do it. She explained to us how like sync deals work in the music industry, which is really cool. And then she said that she didn't know when the game came out. Like they didn't tell her, hey, it's gonna release tomorrow, get hype. Like she said she was in class and she was leaving. And people started tagging her like on Instagram and social media and was like, whoa. And she said she cried. Like it was just this crazy, overwhelming moment. And I follow her on Instagram. She's like going back on tour. She's been in Chicago. She's coming to New York. She's doing all sorts of stuff. But the interview, Greg, unless I'm forgetting about something, this is my most watched interview ever. I've been at Shacknews in some capacity since 2017. This has 27,000 views. This interview with Bershi post holiday break,
Well,
which I
yeah,
think is
to give people some idea, like interviews, like non-celebrity interviews, like 27K might as well be a million. That's a great number for just a straight interview for a
with an
long play.
indie
That's a fantastic
musician.
number.
Yeah, that all respect to her. She's great. I listen to her song weekly that most people hadn't heard of before this game. Such a cool moment career for me. I'm just I loved how much people in the dispatch community embraced it. I saw so many people posting like the interview on Reddit. I saw people like on Twitter communities reposting it. The comments are so many people being like, "We love you, Debershi, blah blah. I love this song. I listen to this every day. Good interview and all that." It was a very cool, feel good moment to end my year. It was something I felt very passionate about making happen, and for it to also just happen to do really well was cool too. Because I was happy when I saw it had like 700 views. I was like, I also want to watch this, and it had a few hundred. I was like, okay, cool. It found like its audience, and then it had like thousands, and then every day like I would refresh, there was just another thousand for like a few days in a row. I was like, holy fuck, this is blown up. Very cool.
Under the
Very
wire too.
cool
You got
thing
it to
to
me the
happen.
last week we were here, and I was doing. I was like, I'll
Yeah,
just get this out quickly.
I
I'll
was like,
just
can
get it
you
out.
edit this? Yeah. I was like, you think you could edit this? So yeah, thank you for whipping that around. You were doing a bunch of stuff that week, but it was cool. It's a good thing to take into 2026, the kind of stuff I want to do, you know. I would love to talk to the actual dispatch devs and, you know, some of the bigger names, but you know, finding those conversations that nobody else is having, right? I think is important.
Well, I had a conversation with my
So
wife about it because
yes.
she played it over break.
Oh, did
She
she?
was like, she was like, I don't understand. She's like, why are these two girls like falling over Mecha Man? She's like, I don't understand. Like, they're like all over him. Like, I don't. She's like, I guess I get Invisigirl, but Blonde just like into him for no reason. Like, I don't understand. And I saw another video that said like, oh, it's
I love
Twilight for
Blonde
dudes.
Blazer.
So I'm like, yeah, it's Twilight for
Yeah.
dudes. That's what it is. Like, no,
Yeah, it's
Bella's
like these.
boring and not and okay looking, but like these two guys just can't stop fighting over her. It's the same thing. I was like, wow, that's dead on. It's dead on. It's Twilight for guys. So now all the guys
You
can
know,
feel how the girls felt with Twilight. That's exactly how the girls felt when they watched Twilight.
look, Kirsten Stewart and Robert Robertson are both beautiful. And you're right. It is this thing where it's like just these two beautiful women fawning over this like normal dude who's like all beaten up and scratched and his ears like missing a
Yeah, he's
chunk.
not much to look at, right? He's
Um,
just a normal guy. Like I mean, he doesn't. He's just normal dude.
he's a handsome dude. He's got like the people like the the grizzled, like battle worn looking dude that's got like scars all over his body and stuff.
But he's
That's
also not like a
thing.
reverse triangle. He's not Henry Cavill. Right? He's not super built. Like he's pretty
No, he's
normal.
not
Like,
jacked. He's not jacked.
yeah.
But you know what he is? He's confident, which people like. Yeah, no, I don't deny that comparison. I love Dispatch. It was my game of the year. But Greg, moving forward, we have a fun little story here. I think it's gonna be fun. I haven't watched this trailer yet. A24, a studio we talk about as much as any on this show, released the trailer for a movie called Undertone. Undertone, which I have not watched yet. I was thinking we could just pull it up here and watch it. Um, it's horror. I think it has something to do with the podcast, is my knowledge of it. But that's about it.
But you know, like it's funny because when this was a couple years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, we were still doing this stream. We were talking about all the great work A24 was doing and like how they were very selective about their projects, and now they're just like, there's too many. I can't keep track of all the productions they do now.
A24 is a big studio. Don't let them fool you. This is they put out like, I mean, they distribute like 4 or 5 movies a year, and they do a mix though, where they like produce stuff, but then they also just acquire and distribute stuff, which is obviously less legwork. But this one, I think they produce. I think this is like them, something they brought up in house. We know they're doing the Backrooms movie. Talk about fucking video game adaptations. That's going to be insane, coming out this year. But Greg, if you want to count us in, we can
Yeah, I can go. We'll go on. We'll go 3, 2, 1, and then go, and we'll click on go. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Do you hear something?
Yeah, I saw this doing really well
Welcome
on the internet.
to the
I love. They always do this
Podcast,
with their trailers.
where
They
we
sneak
talk
the
about
A24
all
logo
things creepy.
or something.
I'm your in-house skeptic, Evie Babbage, and Michael Lever, co-host, says he has a real treat for us today.
We're listening to 10
like Sydney
mysterious
Prescott.
audio recordings from an anonymous email.
Oh my God. Are you implying there was hidden messages in it?
Let me play it back in reverse.
Play the
Don't
next
like
one.
that.
Let's find out.
Don't like that.
Let's play the record backwards.
Where's that coming from? Anything being played backwards in horror movies, nope.
Yeah, don't
Also,
read the Latin.
Slow oscillating cameras in the horror movies also just never a good thing. It wants to be a real boy. Heard. Don't yell.
We should stop listening.
It's about the dangers of podcasting, Greg. There's a lesson here.
What if we unleash something?
I like it here in the
Why? Why would you go? Oh, there's something in the bed.
Oh.
You shouldn't have called out to her. It's what she wants.
Oh, that's like classic in occults. Like, you know, like if you reach out to it, it gives it permission to like do the thing.
Yeah, you've like welcomed it in. Yeah, I like that teaser. That looks interesting. You know, we talk about franchises and IP and shit. That looks fun and original. I'm down. The idea of like a horror movie podcast host being tormented is such a like 2026 storyline. It's exactly I think what we need right now, because everybody has a podcast. But I'll say I'm always anytime in a horror movie we're like playing things backwards to hear the audio, or it's like distorted sounds that sound human but not really. That shit's always creepy to me. Yeah. And as somebody who hosts the podcasts, sort of, you know, it's like
Everyone has a podcast in 2026. I
They
think
do.
my little
Which is why
nephew
this is a
has
good idea.
podcast.
And that's why this is a good idea, because it's relatable. Because you see, like, even just looking at like the timeline and the wavelengths on the editing software issues, like all that feels like real and relatable. Undertone. It's an interesting title. But sounds cool. It looks interesting. It looks creepy. I'll see this. A24, like I said, A24 to me is not what they were in, like, there was an era in like 2018 to like 2020 where it felt like every A24 movie was like, you have to watch it. Not really the case anymore, but this looks like one of them ones. This looks like one of the like creepy old ones, like you think of like a Hereditary, Midsummer sort of era. Um, yeah. First comment: people in horror movies really got to be turning more lights on.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I would not be sitting in a dark ass house if I thought there were spirits at work trying to get to me. But sure, I think that looks good. But you guys don't watch too many horror movies, right, Greg? Because Nicole's not like super keen on them. Same
Yeah,
with
I'm just texting because I know we watched one over break, and I can't remember. I made her watch one over break, and I can't remember what it was. Never a great sign,
was
but
it?
the way we consume media now is so rapid, like you don't have any retention. So
Yeah.
I just texted her. I'll see what she says. But yeah, I watched a horror
Uh,
movie over break. I made her watch. I made her. I asked her. I'm like, please watch it with me. I just watched the. I watch her like love triangle rom com stuff with her a lot. So I was like, watch this movie with me. Can't remember
yeah.
what it was.
Yeah, let me know what it was. It wasn't FNAF. That's a different movie you watched, although technically also horror. But there you go. Undertone. That movie comes out March 13th. Whoa, that's soon. First trailer, and the movie comes out mid-March. I like that. I thought it was gonna be like October. All right. Well, then I'll see this and review it in a couple months. This will be a fun one to watch with a crowd. Speaking of crowds, Greg.
Speaking of crowds.
Speaking of crowds, our final story is also kind of transitioning into our review segment for the second half of our show. Something huge happened over break, Greg. Stranger Things ended after 9 years on television. And by 9 years on television, I actually mean 5 years on television because they made the first couple seasons, and then after that, there was like a 3 year gap between every season of the show. But part two of Stranger Things season 5 came out, and then the finale on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I went and saw it in a theater, Greg. I went and watched the finale of Stranger Things at a movie theater, and it was a crazy experience because people were clapping and cheering like they were watching a Marvel movie. I hadn't seen that in a theater in years, but it was literally like the movie starts and people are like, oh, and they clap and they're like, people are like, and the audience like, one last time. Like people were so, I was like, Stranger Things has like a true excitement to it. And every time something cool happened, like Nancy Wheeler shooting at the monster, people are clapping. A character falls off a cliff, and then their arm reaches back up onto the cliff. People are oh clapping. It was
That
a
was
fun
a Steve
experience.
moment. They did that on purpose. I was like, he's not gonna die. Their death has to have meaning. And then like he was saved. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing though. They cut to like what movie can cut to
It
black?
cut to
Like
black.
name a movie
It
or show
cut
that
to
can do
black.
that. Yeah.
The Sopranos. Yeah. It cuts to black, and then people again in my theater gasped, audibly gasped, and were like, "What?" And then it came back.
Not
But
Steve.
I think the greater conversation here, Greg, is Stranger Things is over, dude. It's over. Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, it's
Um,
funny because I thought the season 5 got a lot of hate for no reason. Like for like certain scenes that were like, okay, I'll grant it. Like the Will coming out scene was a little, it felt a little off, and I don't know if that's just because the pacing was it or how it was shot or whatever. It felt a little
Sure.
off, but like I thought it was good. It's hard to end something, but I have massive. It's even harder to create something that has universal appeal. To create something new and original, like in today's like modern times, is like incredibly rare. It's usually a reboot or a remake or something like that or a continuation of something that's already popular. They started this from season 1 and went all the way to season 5, and it like you said, it stuttered a little bit. Like budgets got bigger. People wanted them to do other projects, so like they couldn't do it every other year. Like there were sometimes 3 years between seasons.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed that they brought something back. This was like their big break. Like they did like a lot of they went to the Duffer Brothers went to film school, and like they did kind of like the running around trying to do stuff in Hollywood, and then like they got their big break with Stranger Things, and that just kind of was their big thing. But even the first season didn't like immediately rocket them into stardom. Like it took season 3 is when they really started to take off, when they got the huge gigantic budgets. And
I love
like,
season 3.
yeah, season 3 is peak for me. That's my favorite season because we watched this 1 through 5, and the pacing's good. I like the acting's good. The way it's shot is good. The season 5 and the finale were fine. Like it's hard to watch stuff end. I was a little surprised nobody died. I thought for sure someone was gonna die. I should probably put spoilers up,
Right.
but
I thought they might. Yeah, I don't know. I thought they might have done it, but when at the end, I wasn't surprised really. I think, or maybe somebody did die, Greg. Who can say?
oh, who could
Do you
say? Right? Who
believe?
could say?
Do you believe?
But they came
Yeah,
full circle.
I-
And people like, and like, it's cool too because much like how people like Wolverine or Cyclops or Luke Skywalker, like people are liking Dustin and people are liking 11. Like people are liking the characters
yeah,
they
no, these are
created, right? And that's kind of cool
yeah.
to see that with characters, not that aren't necessarily superheroes or lend themselves to transmedia as well.
Mm.
It
Characters
is
that haven't been around for 50 years already. Like
right.
these are new characters. And I think Stranger Things has such a fascinating arc to it because in 2016, right, Netflix was still very young in the streaming game. It had been some years since they pivoted from DVDs, but like at that point they had House of Cards, which was big, Orange is the New Black. But Stranger Things was like the first thing they put on TV that was like their equivalent of a Breaking Bad or a Game of Thrones, where it
Yes.
was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, we have to buy Netflix now just to watch this show. We have to be a part of this. And it was such a it went from like this underdog indie show that at the time was billed. If you go back and look at the ads and the tweets promoting Stranger Things in 2016, it was this Winona Ryder show about like a mysterious small town. Like that's what it was. They were like Winona Ryder in this like weird sci-fi mystery. Like check it out this weekend on Netflix. And to watch it grow from this like underdog show that was a cast of kids, so people who weren't famous, and Winona Ryder, who was very famous, but certainly had like her heyday decades ago in Hollywood. And now it became this monolith of pop culture to the point that it became popular than most IP that we just have nowadays, but also got so popular to the point that it became almost too big for its own good, right? Where, like you mentioned it, the inflated budgets, but then also the increased scrutiny, where now it got to a point where like every meticulous detail of Stranger Things people like picked apart and pulled apart and tore down. And a lot of it I think was deserved, and then some of it wasn't. They had the issue with like the cast growing up every year, right? In that first season, they're all like 11 years old, they're little kids. And then it's like by season 3 and definitely 4, it's like, oh, they're all like 5+ years older than their
Yeah.
character now in real life. And it became more of a thing. And then the hairstyles and whatnot, and it became way too big for its britches. And we talked about it on this show when there was that report a couple years ago that the last season had a budget of like $40 million an episode or something absurd. And it's like, that's more than what they made the entire first season for. Now, of course, you go back and you watch the season 1 of Stranger Things and you look at that Demogorgon CGI, it's not good. But yeah, I think to me, I agree with you. I thought at the end of it, season 5 was fine. The finale was fine. In fact, I like the finale. I like the send-offs. It's a long-ass episode, and half of it's just like farewell. I thought
Yeah.
all the farewell stuff was awesome. I loved all that. Maybe I'm just a sucker or a nostalgia pony, but that all worked for me. All the like character sign-offs I thought was pretty well executed, and there's so many shows, man, that just don't get to do that. So many beloved TV shows with beloved characters that just never get to do that,
Yeah, I
which
mean,
I
or
thought
they
was cool.
fumble. They
They had the
fumble at the
chance.
finish line. Game of Thrones certainly fumbled, right? Like it was very like that thing
Yeah,
was an event when the season finale came out. Remember, there was buzz about it, but it wasn't good buzz. Everyone was like, "What did I just watch? What happened? Did they just die? What happened?" Like people were really confused
yeah,
and taken aback. And I think this is like this was done correctly. Like I'm glad no one died because I like all the characters, right? So like I think yeah, I mean it did fine. I don't think they could have done any better. I don't think they could have done. They certainly could have done worse. I don't think they could have done any better than ending it the way it did.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that it's good they ended here. They announced years ago that 5 was going to be the end, so I like that they had a vision for a while. They didn't just get canceled by Netflix and then ended the show. But yeah, just a crazy moment in pop culture. And again, I think as much as I do love Stranger Things and I look forward to many years of being able to go back and rewatch it and show it to people, I do lament the 9 years, 50 episodes, or less than that. It's like 40 episodes or something, like 5 seasons. I get it. TV shows are movies now. They're just movies that are broken up into like 8-hour-long parts, or some, in the case of Stranger Things, longer than an hour parts. But like, this is push coming to shove. Like, this show taking almost a decade to get to its 5th season is like nothing short of ridiculous. And it's not alone. It's not a Stranger Things problem. Pluribus, a show that I thought was great. I haven't got your thoughts on it yet. We're gonna review that next. But like, Vince Gilligan just said, somebody in an interview told him they heard the show was gonna shoot season 2 this year, and he laughed. He was like, "Ain't no chance it's shooting this year." It's like, that's just another show that's gonna be 3 years. Severance came out in like 2021. Season 2 of Severance came out last year. It took season 1 with the cliffhanger. It took them 3 years to make season 2, and it's like, this is not how TV was made for 60 years up until like the 2020s. And all of a sudden now it's all just cinema. So I don't know. It
It's a
feels
gamble.
like
It's a gamble every time they do a season. They don't know what's going to explode, right? Like you get much more direct feedback,
yeah.
but when something is like Fallout wasn't signed for 8 seasons when the first season premiered. It was signed for 1. So they release it, they do the 1 season. Hey, everyone loves it. Cool. Now they have to renegotiate. Now all those actors have more power. All the production studios have more power over them. So now everything's going to cost more, and they have to sign on for 2 or 3 seasons. That's why, as a sidetrack, just real quick, Millie Bobby Brown got paid like very little because all their salaries leaked, which I'm sure their agents were very happy with. Uh, and like Millie Bobby Brown was like the lowest paid actor out of all of them, and I think that's because of the way her contract was rolled into Stranger Things at season 2. Like you're going to sign up for 4 seasons, and this is going to be your rate. You know what I mean?
Well,
So I
Netflix
think,
also put her in like 3 different movies, so I'm sure she was paid handsomely for
yeah,
those. I'm sure
damsel
she got
stuff,
taken
which
care
aren't bad
of.
movies either. I've enjoyed the stuff she's been in.
There you go.
But yeah, it's just I think
But
it's
Greg,
good.
what's different though about what you just described from 15 years ago? When Breaking Bad came out in season 1, Vince Gilligan had done like X-Files stuff, but he wasn't like this god of television yet. And they made 5 seasons in 6 years, and they did the same thing. They renewed it year to year. A season came out, it was good. They renewed it for season 2. It came out, people liked it. They renewed it for season 3. But like, what is creating the extra 2+ years here in the
Post production, easy, hands down, post production. Breaking
Yeah.
Bad was a very boots on the ground show, right? There wasn't a lot. There was some CGI.
lower
There were
budget
some.
than some
There were
stuff
some
like
practical
this?
effects, but it was a lot of people in locations talking, like Pluribus a little bit. Pluribus is a little more technical because they need a lot of people in a lot of big locations. But like
Dude,
they're all small locations. They're at a house, they're at a garage, or at a warehouse and junkyard, and they just shoot the scene. It's camera on the ground shooting the
Yeah.
scene, getting it moving on. There's a ton of stunts in Stranger Things. There's a ton of stunts now, a ton of visual effects, CGI, practical effects.
Yeah.
The face mapping, like it's post production. It gets caught up in post production. Like that's
Well,
what it
I get
is.
that. I guess my thing is like maybe we should fucking scale down what TV shows are. I don't know.
You think?
Like,
You think?
because
Yes.
like Pluribus, right, doesn't have a lot of CGI in it, but holy shit, is the budget of that show massive? It jumps off the TV when you watch Pluribus, and I think it's a great show. Holy, you watch it though, and it's like you can see that they're in every location. They're going around the world. They're like just shooting in random countries and forests and shit, and none of it's green screen. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, there are random shots of that show that are on screen for like 2 seconds, and I'm like, that was like a $10 million shot. It had to be.
They had to
and
rent the
kudos-
helicopter. They had to rent the helicopter.
Yeah, all that stuff. The helicopter, the Air Force one, which I know is like a facade thing they did, but like even just that, the run, like, yeah, they built a neighborhood for the first, or for like where she lives, is like a whole fake neighborhood they built in Albuquerque. All that is definitely like Vince Gilligan getting a blank check for
Yeah.
Apple TV to do what he wants, which good for him. You made, as far as the rest of the world is concerned, 2 of the best shows ever made with Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Apple TV wants good content. You delivered it.
Well, also like Stranger Things
think-
is a period pieces. Period pieces are expensive, even more so. I think.
That's true.
I think
You need-
somebody said they
yeah.
double or sometimes triple the budget. Just being a period piece can do that because now you have to have cars and clothes, and you have to have all this consistency, right? You have to find
Outfits,
location becomes
posters, furniture, everything.
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder.
Yeah. Which the show also caught some flack for that, of it being like 80s nostalgia, like pandering. Which, doesn't, it's like I'm like impervious to that because that's not my generation, although I have my t-shirt that says awesome 80s. But I know I liked it. I thought it was good. It was fun. That's my take.
It's fun. It's
I had a
good.
good time
It's
with
good. It's good. It could have been a lot worse. I'm happy the way did not
Yeah.
leave away. I didn't leave watching the show angry or confused. Those are the 2 things.
Okay.
Great.
There you go.
Thumbs up.
It's not a Game of Thrones situation. Let's get into another show you told me you watched, Greg, which we just mentioned, Pluribus,
Oh yeah.
over the holiday break. Did you watch all of it?
Yeah, we binged it in like 2 days
Oh, nice. Okay, it's a good sign, I'm hoping.
or 3 days, something like that. Yeah.
It's the new Vince Gilligan show, guy who made Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. It stars Rhea Seehorn, who was Kim Wexler in Better Call Saul, and she's the lead here, playing Carol Sturka. And essentially, the story is an alien sort of transmission creates this like condition on Earth, I guess an illness, parasite you'd call it, that turns everyone on Earth into a hive mind, where like the bodies are there, but everyone shares like one mind, So I could talk to Greg and have a conversation with Bill and Asif and TJ. Like everyone's mind, everyone has everyone's memories and knowledge and experience, except for like a handful of people, like a small single digit, maybe
Who
10
have immunity,
max,
less
like,
than
people, right.
0.001%. Yeah.
Yeah. And Carol's like one of them, and the story's like following her, just like living in this world, trying to figure out what's happening, trying to fix it. Um, I was super into this. I want to give a shout out to the state of Maryland that I live in because in the first episode, that's where the apocalypse happens. They're at a military lab in Maryland, which we have plenty of because we're next to DC, and you see the Maryland flags, and they've got this donut shop that's local out here, and then the disease breaks out, so it gets bad.
Yeah. So yeah,
But
like you said, it was a communication that they intercepted that was a recipe for some type of, they didn't know what it was, but some type of chemical, like it's a virus, but they didn't know that it was some type of like
yeah,
DNA recipe to how you make vaccines and stuff. It was something like that. Like what do they call it? Like they,
uh-huh.
it was very science. I appreciate the science because they said all the science, but it was a lot to take in. So I appreciate the science on that stuff. Yeah, and like you said, it gets out of control. And but this is a story that's been told, like it's been told in Star Trek, it's been told in parodies and Rick and Morty. It's been you probably people already know it from Rick and Morty, but it's been told forever. It's is the world a better place if you lose your individuality, but everyone's a collective mind, right? You lose war, you lose killing,
Yeah.
you lose violence. Like is it better? And so I think that's a good question just to have because it creates discussion in general. I don't know where this is going because it ended. I was like, oh, it's just one season. Like I was expecting it to be wrapped like in the first season. No, it actually ends on a cliffhanger. So I was like, okay, so they're going to continue to do this. Um, like my wife kept waiting for it to get flip. I'm like, it's Vince Gilligan. I think it's more the overall question, like over the feeling
Yeah.
about like what would you do in her situation? Is this paradise? Is it not human? Is it normal? Is
hell?
it better? You know what I mean? Like I think that's the question. And
Yeah.
but if it were to get dark in the next season or third season, I think my theory is that it's a message that another race sends to planets, and when they do this, and then 40 years later they come and take over the planet because there's no resistance and everything's been like
Right.
reset. The whole world's been reset, right? Like there's only a handful of people left. It's returned to its natural state so they can harvest it or do whatever they need to. That'd be the only thing I could
Mhm.
think of. Otherwise, it's just a philosophical question, I think.
I think the show's already dark. I mean, it's not like grim dark, don't get me wrong, but like conceptual, I think it's pretty dark. Just the concept that like, oh, all these people you loved are like dead, and the show's very like blunt about like, oh yeah, like here's the stuff your significant other thought about you that she never told you because she didn't want to hurt your feelings, and then it's like they talk about like mass death of people like that are when like emotions get out of control, and then they're just like, oh yeah, like 800,000 of us just dropped dead somewhere. um I think all that's pretty dark, very dystopian. It's like I'm always fascinated by end of the world shows. I loved Last Man on Earth with Will Forte. Whenever it's a show where it's like, oh, society's gone except for like this handful of people that are still around for whatever reason, I think that's always interesting, so I like that show. I think this show does a great job with it. There's a lot of just like, I mean, it's dark humor because it's like she's in very early, at least in the show, her attitude is like, everyone's crazy but me. What the f- is wrong
Yeah.
with everybody? I'm the normal one. And like everyone's crazy. And then like her meeting the other survivors and like their perspectives being completely different than hers, I thought was so interesting. Um, and then even her own like character arc, where it's like she is smart enough that she knows like this is wrong, morally this is wrong, we have to fix it. But then like I don't know, man. Just the way that like the joined people touch, they call the hive mind, like the joining. The way that they like talk and move and interact is like creepy to me. It's off putting. Like when they show them and they're all like walking in lines like ants, or they always say we instead of I. Like that shit creeps me out. And there's some lines like late in the show that fucking sent a chill down my spine. But I think it's really good so far.
No, that's why it's so important to see the perspective from Carol because like what happens is in the first episode, like her partner dies, her wife dies. And so she's alone. And there's three people that are completely alone that have no family. And one of them goes to the exact opposite spectrum where they're just like, this is great. I want everything to be the same. You have another spectrum that's like Carol, his name starts with an M. I forget what his character's name is.
Manusos.
The Musos, yeah, like where they're just like, no, this is wrong. We need to set things right because you need like Carol's wife needs to die because if she wasn't dead, she wouldn't be going on this journey. There is no journey, right? Like just like you saw that one woman where her son was still alive, even though it's like it's one of those things. It is the body of her son, but now he shares a collective consciousness, which gets into philosophical debate. Like, is that still her son? Well, technically, yes, because they all have a shared consciousness. His body's still there. His consciousness is still there. It's just shared amongst billions of individuals. And then you get to all this philosophical talk, and I think that's what makes the show interesting too. Is you can just debate forever.
such a cool philosophical show.
Yeah.
Also, just a great reflection of like what is humanity, right? Like
Yeah.
humanity is it's more than obviously it's more than having a body and being able to talk, right? It's like it's more to it. It's what's inside. I think it's part of the show's messaging, right? Where clearly to her, someone being able to walk and talk isn't like doesn't make you a person. You know, like you're not a these aren't people. I think it's so interesting. And then as all the great shows like this ask, what would you do, right? Where I think it's easy to see the one guy who like lives in Vegas and turned it into his paradise and has all these women like in hot tubs with him and food and stuff, and you're like you look at me like he's a piece of shit. Then it's like, well, what would I be doing? Like if there was this like race of people that were catering to my every need and constantly asking me what I wanted, would I be like, you know what, actually, yeah, take me to like the best restaurant in the world and give me like a 10-course meal of the finest food I've ever had? Like, would I say that? Maybe. Like, I don't know. Is the alternative me sitting alone in my
Yeah,
apartment?
Nicole was like, she's like, is that rape? And I'm like, well, I'm like, hey, I stopped. Let's have this conversation because it's a super interesting conversation to have. Like, they're giving
It's
consent
yeah.
and they're all of one mind. So, like, is it like it's a really like that's something I'm talking about.
It's
Like,
a real
it
moral
generates
quandary.
conversation. Yes, absolutely. There is no right or wrong. There is no straight answer.
Mhm.
That's the interesting
And
thing. There is no yes or no. Like, you know what I mean? It's all blurry, which is what makes it really
yeah.
interesting show to watch and experience.
I think you relate to like both sides of like Carol, where she's like reluctant, but she still uses them. She's still like, hey, like put the food in the grocery store. Hey, like I need like a ride to this place. Like she'll interact with them, but then you've got like Manusos, who's like he's eating like fucking like dog
Oh, dog
food
food. Yeah, I won't touch anything they give
because
him. Yeah.
yeah, because with such a thing, and you watch it like, well, that's fucking disgusting. But then it's like, I kind of get it, man. It's like these are aliens. Like you don't know what the fuck's in those eggs. Like you might eat that shit and start like convulsing yourself. Like I get it. It's just I watch it, and again, I think it's such an interesting show, right? Because it doesn't have it doesn't have a lot of wow moments, right? There's not like big plot twists where you're like, oh, but like as you watch it, it just constantly made me like reach up and grab my chin and go, oh, really, huh? Like what would I do? Like really, I don't know. I think it's fascinating. Looks beautiful,
Oh,
shot
shot great. Yeah,
phenomenally.
shot great. Camera
Oh
on
my
ground,
goodness,
location great. Love it.
it
Love it. Love
it,
it.
it looks so good. The little fake neighborhood they built in Albuquerque on that mountain where you just can see out into the city and the desert is beautiful. It looks so good. Rhea Seehorn's awesome in this show. I don't know if you know Greg, but like when she was on Better Call Saul, that show
That's
ran
where I
for
know her
6
from. Yeah.
seasons. Yeah, it ran for 6 seasons. I think she got nominated for an Emmy like 5 times, never won. The show never won an award for anything. But it's like people look at it as one of, like the misjustices of like the award shows because she was so good. And this is almost like her like comeuppance, like her a new defining role for her. She's so good in this. I like all the characters really. I like Zosha, who's one of the joined people we see the
Her
most, who's
chaperone,
always like
they call
around.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her chaperone. But such a cool high concept. I it's one that's easy to theorize about going into season two because I'm like, what is season two going to be? I have a theory that we are not going to get a definitive answer on what these people are ever. I think maybe the last episode of the last season there'll be like a little tease credits, but I don't think there's going to be like a deep dive into like, oh, the Andromeda Galaxy aliens have come over through light years. I don't think they're going to do that, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. Vince. I mean,
Just
I can
knowing
see Vince doing that. I could see him doing something like that at the very end of the show.
he can get into
Like
his X Files
they come
bad.
down and
His
they're like,
X-Files
hey,
bad,
like
yeah.
we're taking over the world now. I could see that happening. But like that's a fun twist.
Hey, this is the show V now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
it's
she's
just
great in it. I love and the one thing too. You mentioned how it's shot. It's I appreciate as an editor. I appreciate people have when you just sit on a shot because we have like our attention spans have been like shrunken into nothingness. But like when she's unloading a car, you watch the whole unloading process. When she's doing something, you
so
watch the whole
many
thing she's doing. They don't jump cut. They just they play it out long. And I was like, wow, that's really kind of cool to see at a show because it's also
a
very
lot
human,
of long
right?
takes. Yeah, it is. It's immersive. It's human. It's real. It feels authentic, which I think is all intentional. But you're right. It's like a lot of long takes, a lot of like held shots. I see people complain that the show is like slow or boring, which I think is like a perfect commentary on our culture, where it's like because the show isn't like jangling keys in your face like every 10 minutes, people are like uninterested by it. But I think the show's phenomenal, and also I think something interesting I've seen, Greg, is people even reading it as like a commentary on AI and artificial intelligence, where it's like, yeah, you have like this all-encompassing knowledge that is sure on paper smarter and better, but like obviously just bad for all of us. Like this is just obviously
Yeah.
just destroying humanity, like blatantly. Which Vince Gilligan has come out. He's very staunchly anti-AI. I think he said, what was his quote when the show came out and they asked him about it? He was like, they asked him why he hasn't used AI yet. He said, because no one's held me a shotgun up to my head and made me do it yet. Which I thought was funny. But yeah, I just think it's such a good show, and I just hope it's not too long for season 2, man. I hope it's not like 4 fucking years, because Severance was an Apple show, and it took them 3 years and some change. He laughed. Vince Gilligan laughed when somebody said they thought the show was shooting season 2 this year. He said the writers' room is working now. I'm gonna let them cook, but like, please.
Yeah, if it's not even written yet, you still have to do contracts, location scouting. Everything, all that stuff takes so much time. And now that the show's arguably a hit, negotiations can take longer too with certain actors, right? So because they have power now, rightfully so. You know what I mean? Like they you need to have them in the show.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I loved
see.
it. I mean, it's funny because we're like, Donovan recommended this show Plurbius. I didn't know how you say it. I didn't know how you said it at the time, but I was like, but it's on Apple TV Plus and we don't have that. She's like, oh, I got 3 months free when I bought my iPad. And we're like, okay, we're watching the show.
It's true. It's part of the our country motto, Greg. E pluribus unum. You ever heard that? It's a Latin phrase.
No.
It means out of many, one. It's printed on the quarter and the dollar. And if you go to
Oh,
Washington
interesting.
D.C., it's all over like the Capitol building. E pluribus unum. It means out of many, one. I don't know. I think it's pluribus. I think just means many in Latin, which is obviously a dead language. But yeah, not a great name for a show because it's literally a word from a language that doesn't exist anymore. But I think it's a cool tie-in when you learn what the show's about. Yeah, but great show. I'm glad you guys liked it. I'm always worried that I'm going to tell you to watch something and you're like, this is fucking dog water.
No, you always just watch horror movies, and we can never watch horror movies.
I know.
Nicole, get back at me, man. I know she did not, but no, yeah, but we enjoyed this one. I was like, that's it. I enjoyed it. We watched. We didn't want to binge, but we did binge. So we tried.
Okay.
It was too good not to.
Sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you just can't help it. Now there is a horror movie you do remember watching because you told me you looked at Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, FNAF 2. Yeah. Let me pull up the
FNAF 2, which I haven't gotten around to the second FNAF here, so you'll have to tell me what you thought of it. My friends and I, we all watched the first one in like a Discord call like 2 years ago when it came out, but we haven't gotten to the second one yet. Maybe sometime soon. But
yeah,
I know you've got a ringing endorsement here for us.
So I've come into this series, like I know Five Nights at Freddy's. I know of it. I know a lot of the lore. It's an interesting franchise in general. There's a lot of world building in this game that has been cross platform. It's and I feel fans are frustrated because it's a series that has not grown with its audience. Security Breach, which I did play, was a very interesting game. It was a puzzle game, horror game. I love the environments, but it's very kid friendly. Same thing for this. It's scary, but there's no gore. There's like a little bit of blood splatter. Everything's blurred out. Like it's meant to still stay kid friendly, and people hate that because kids watched this, got into it when they were like 7, 8, or 9 or whatever, 10, and like now they're 18 and it's not growing. It's not growing with
and they want to see like somebody's throat get ripped out.
Yeah, and that's not what this franchise is. It's never what it's been about, right? But anyway, so I came in. I really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was shot well. I liked the story. I thought animatronics, thumbs up. I love the sets. The sets were great. So going to the second one, I had cool expectations, right? Oh, cool. We're gonna have Matthew Lillard's character come back, right? He's gonna be the main antagonist. Oh no, there's this marionette thing. Okay. It was written by Scott. Wait, before I get into this, I'll say like the production was stellar. It shot well. The robot suits look great. All the props look great.
It's the Jim Henson Company, I think.
Fantastic. The production is top notch. Love the production. I have nothing bad to say about it. All the robotics look fantastic. Everything shot well. It looks great. The sets are great. The marionette puppet that you don't see a lot of, but when it moves very eerily. Love it. All practical. Love it. What destroys the movie from the ground up is just the writing. The writing is just it's terrible. Like, and it's specifically the writing. I was telling you, Donovan, this movie doesn't have an act 3. It just ends in the middle of act 2. Like, it's like he wanted 2 movies in like one movie, and they're like, no, you got to make it the third one. There is no resolution to anything that is introduced in this movie, because we're gonna get into spoiler territory. They introduce the marionette, which is a new villain, and she wants to. her motivation is to possess people, to kill the parents that didn't help her when she asked for help at the restaurant, but we never explore the origins of those parents or care about them if they're in danger, which completely falls off the rails. So the motivation of the killer's like not really interesting. They do the same exact twist that they did at the last movie, which was like at the end, this guy comes up and is like, "I'm your brother." I'm like, shocked. Wow, cool. He gets away. There's no resolution to anything. Nothing gets resolved in the movie that's supposed to have a 3 act structure. And I specifically blame this on Scott because I think Scott's a great world builder. I think he's good at writing lore. I think he's good at writing intermittent stories in between things, but he's not good at an overarching story that needs to have pacing and character development and like uh not errors, punishments or reactions to things that happen. Like nothing happens. Like nothing ever happens or gets resolved, and it suffers for it. People die for no reason. There were certain times I was watching. I'm like, oh, cool. So these animatronics are gonna go out and kill everybody. No, they're only gonna kill specific people. And I'm like, well, why do I care about these specific people? Who cares? It's very interesting. Very interesting. It's clearly made for fans, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's good. The
No,
fans
it
may know
doesn't.
all the lore and the game theorist stuff and may have thousands of hours reading this
Yeah.
stuff. But like, if that's the only thing that it goes for, then it's not for me. And so I was terrible. The production, it's hard not to appreciate it though, just from a production standpoint. Like I'll probably watch it again because everything is good. You could easily put a person in a suit that bulky, right? You could easily, but you don't. And I just have mad respect
Yeah.
for that. Like you could have put someone in that big bulky suit to move around. I'm sure in some scenes they do, but there's scenes where they open their
Right.
mouth or they move their eyes and you see all the gears, you see the spaces in the neck and you're like, that's a skeletal animatronic. And I have so much respect for that. Now it's
Yeah.
hard to hate the movie for it, but the writing is just atrocious. And they took 2 writers off of it. So the first movie, like you pointed this out, Donovan, in Slack, because I thought it was not written by him, but it was. But there were 2 other writers on the first movie. This one is just Scott and nobody else.
Yeah.
So like, and that just you can see the problem. Like you can pinpoint the problem.
Yeah.
You're like, Scott, he just needs a little help, I think, in like how acts are structured. And I'm not even a writer, and I know this basic stuff, like how acts are structured and how you need resolution and conflict and how that works.
I mean, look at George Lucas, right? Like one of the greatest storytellers we've ever had, right? But I think that everyone, probably except for George Lucas, can recognize like he wasn't the best screenwriter. Like he wrote the script for A New Hope and it was great and that was good, but then like he also went on to write the scripts for episodes 1, 2, and 3, and they were like terrible. And the reason they were terrible is because he just wrote them on his own, and nobody was there to be like, actually, what if we tweak this? Like, oh, what if he said this instead? Or, oh, that's a little bit awkward. That's not really consistent with this thing you did. He just did what he wanted to. And Scott Cawthon has a little bit of that going on. I think I have a ton of respect for this dude. We've talked about it on the show before. Anytime there's like an indie person that just kind of like generated this like phenomenon of his own mind. Essentially, what if, Chuck E. Cheese was like a horror movie sort of thing that he made this indie game in 2014 on Steam and it just blew up and became like every YouTuber's favorite Let's Play. Like,
Yeah.
so much respect for him for not only like making that first game, but then just the way he parlayed his success after that. And kind of, yes, he made a shit ton of FNAF sequels, but like this dude built out like a universe. Like I've only played the first FNAF game for like an hour or two maybe, but I know that the lore of FNAF is insanely rich. There
Yeah.
are prequel stories. He's written books. There's like tie-in games or spin-offs. He's done like ARGs where he's got people like going to websites and like looking for clues and hints and stuff, and people are like deciphering codes. You talked about the YouTube aspect of it all. Like he's created like this empire of a franchise, um, essentially of his own mind, his own making. This wasn't like an IP he bought from somebody and then kind of turned into a movie. So credit to him, and I think he's living the dream any creative has, right? Where now that you've made it big and your franchise has literally gone Hollywood, you're still in creative control, right? Like you didn't sell it off. It's not like Steven Spielberg directing FNAF written by,
Yeah.
David Kep or whatever. It's like it's
Yeah.
him. It's his thing. It's he's getting the best of both worlds. It's getting adapted, but they're not doing it without him. They're doing it with him and on his, they go when he says go, which it's resulting in bad movies, but it's his vision, it's what he wants, and
Yeah.
clearly he would prefer to be in control than to let go of the reins. I agree with you that get a writing partner, but
Just,
get
just
a
get
writing
help.
partner.
Yeah,
Partner,
just a little
somebody.
help. Like
Have
how to
somebody,
write
yeah.
world building. He's got it. He just needs a little help on dialogue and structure and some other stuff. And this is coming from a non-writer. That's how bad it is. I'm just like, wow, this is Because I remember you
Right?
mentioned
Well,
George Lucas writing. I took a screenwriting
mhm.
class in college, and they're like the cardinal sin is you never ever write in a script. Be careful. Never ever 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 write that in a script. Do not write that. It's cliche. No one should write that. And then they say be careful all the time in Star Wars. It's like their go-to thing whenever they leave.
I mean, dialogue in Star Wars has always been very like
Yeah,
silly to a charming point. I mean, it's I've got a bad feeling about this,
yeah,
but it's
that
like,
too. Yeah.
it's like that, but it's almost like it's cool when they do it. I like when I hear that people say that in Star Wars movies. I don't like it in other movies. Yeah, so the writing could be better, and again, it's like, partner with somebody else. That said, I don't know how well this did financially. The first one was like fucking massive. It was the highest earning R-rated movie the year it came out, I think. Um,
Let's see.
but yeah, uh,
Two plus.
interesting franchise.
I mean, I
A
might watch it
series
again
that's
because like I love this. The effects are so good. It's really
yeah.
hard to like knock it because it's just so good. So it made 235 million dollars.
That's not bad. I mean, it's probably less than the first one, but first one, no, the first one made 290. Yeah, it's right in line with the first one. It's like,
Yeah.
again, it's like people, these things have an audience. Like, there's going to probably be a FNAF 3. Um, yeah, so good on Josh Hutcherson and Scott Cawthon and all those folks. But
I mean,
you
I'm
know,
weird with movies like this too. Like it's funny because like I paid money to go see Dungeons and Dragons and the theater was empty. But the only
right.
reason I paid money is because I've seen all the behind the scenes and their big promotion was we used real prosthetics and we built sets and we used real costumes. I'm like, yep, support it, support it, support it, support it. I didn't like the
Yeah,
movie, but I loved the production. I'll support this
sure.
production all day long.
That's good. You should support the things you believe in. I'll tell you, the theaters were not empty for FNAF. The kids showed up for FNAF. FNAF also, because you talked about like the horror of it and it being like baby horror and whatnot. There's a term we use in the movie discussion business called gateway horror, and it's
Oh, okay.
like those horror movies that are like scary and creepy, but like tolerable. It's the scary movie you would let like your 13-year-old kid watch, right? Like you're not gonna let them watch Saw, but you let them watch FNAF because FNAF is like scary and spooky, but probably won't like give them nightmares and
It's
won't
not
scar
gory.
them.
It's not
And
violent.
it's like it's the horror movie that makes you like horror and want to watch more, essentially, right? And FNAF is like probably the best example of that for like a modern audience, somebody in Gen Z or even Gen Alpha at this point, right? Where it's like something scary they watched when they were 12 on YouTube, and it spooked them out, it freaked them out, but not to the point that they were like crying and needed to get like needed to be consoled by their parent or whatnot, right? And that's what kind of like sparks that love of horror in you. And then you get older, and then you go watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre by yourself, or Friday the 13th, or Scream, or A Nightmare on Elm. Then you go seek out like the scary stuff. So yeah, I think that's what it exists. I think that's fine. I think we need stuff like that. I think Megan was similar to that. Another Blumhouse thing where it's like it's creepy, but it's like it's fun creep. It's like you could watch this at like a slumber party, and like people could still sleep well after it goes off. It's
Was
one of those
Megan?
kind of
I
movies.
thought Megan had violence in it. Like, real, like, wasn't she like murdering people in
Uh,
that? Like,
yeah, there's blood in Megan. Maybe watch like the rated cut. I don't know.
because in this movie there's multiple people die, but there's only two deaths you actually see, and you don't really see them. Like one, they cut away, they do the
Yeah,
cutaway thing, and then like they have like a little bit of blood splash on glasses. Like it's a microscopic amount of blood that splashes, and you're
sure.
like, okay. And I feel like this audience, it's interesting to me because I'm not an advocate of like heavy violence if there's a reason for it. Like unless it moves the story forward or it shows the situation is super serious. Like it's not just existing for the sake of existing. And I like the fact that it's not violent. Like I think that's cool for kids. I think it's cool for audiences because your imagination can do far more for you than actually seeing it. And I think that's what the strengths of the game
That
is.
dude.
But people, but
Yeah, I was gonna
kids,
say that's what the games do so well. Yeah,
but people who are fans of it now are getting really upset that we're not seeing Texas Chainsaw levels of gore in this. And I'm like, well, it's been insinuated, it's been in the lore, it's been written, but you never see it. And that's a thing, and it's never gonna change. That's its identity. Its identity is gateway horror. It's not you're not gonna get arms ripped off in Hellraiser fashion. Sorry, guys. It's not happening. That's not the franchise identity. It just is not. And it can still be good. It can still be good without that. I
yeah.
really like Security Breach,
I
and
mean,
even Legend of the Mimic is great. I like that one too. That was a great little horror game. Not violence is insinuated. It's explained like the robot ripped his wife's arms and legs off, but you don't see it. It's in a
mhm,
journal, right? So you read it. That's a lot different than showing it. I can promise you. The MPAA will say the same
yeah.
thing. It's a lot different at reading text than it is showing it on screen.
Well, I mean, Universal's like we've got a blueprint here. We got two of these movies made almost $300 million on budgets of less than half of that.
Yeah.
They're like, we're not changing shit. So We'll probably get a FNAF 3. It
Changing
will
shit.
probably be
It works.
terrible,
It
but
works. I think.
yeah, it works, and people show up for it. The fans show up for it. They are loyal about this franchise. You talk about like IP and the power of it. This is one that's got a strong pull. Greg, I want to review something.
Yes. What did you see?
I watched a movie on Christmas Eve. We were already on break, so I didn't review it. Called Marty Supreme. It's the new Timothy Chalamet movie. He's the lead actor in it, but it was directed by Josh Safdie. Which, if you don't know who Josh Safdie is, him and his brother made Uncut Gems, which was the Adam Sandler movie, the very stressful R-rated thing where he's like the jeweler in New York City. Um, they also did a movie called Good Time with Robert Pattinson. But Marty Supreme is Timothy Chalamet in post World War II New York City, chasing his dreams to become a ping pong champion. This guy loves table tennis. It is a movie about this dude who sets out, Greg, to be the greatest table tennis player in the world. And it's a very silly premise on paper, and he is dead serious about it. And this movie is A24 also, of course, is A24. Um, it's one of those movies where it's like I don't even know where to begin. So if you know like the Safdie brothers, all of their movies have one through line, Greg, and it's like shitty asshole protagonists. It's like protagonists who are not good people. Like they might have redeeming qualities, they might have people they're kind to, but in general, they are very like arrogant people that like typically, to put it frank, deserve some of the bad things that happen to them. And Marty in this movie is such a fucking dickhead. He is such an asshole. He's somebody who's like he's very obviously you see the trailer, he's very good at table tennis. He's competing on like a global stage, but like he has like this massive arrogance where he's doing like the like any like professional athlete would where it's like I'm like the I'm better than you thing. Like he talks to people in his life and he's like I'm going places, I've got big dreams, you're gonna see me. There's a quote in the trailer where he's like next time you see me I'm gonna be smiling at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. Like he's got like this arrogance to him. He believes in like his abilities and whatnot, but it's because of his arrogance that he just constantly finds himself in like deep shit. And it's like a story of a person who just cannot, for the life of them, get out of their own way. Who like is constantly self-sabotaging, whose like own hubris is just always their undoing, who like he can't help but like say the wrong thing to the wrong person always. Um, but it's such a captivating performance. Timothy Chalamet is so good in this movie. It's really funny. It's dark, not necessarily in a violent way, but just story wise, again, it's a movie that takes place like very shortly after World War II, and they talk a lot about like the end of the war and like Nazis and stuff, and like in this world, like Hitler's only been dead for a couple of years, so they like there's a lot of commentary. There's people who were like in the war. He's got a friend who was in a concentration camp that he like plays ping pong with, and there's just some like fascinating commentary there. Some
PTSD.
crazy
Does he?
humor.
Do they touch on that? Does he have PTSD at all? Because that was a big thing. I don't even think it was. They knew what it was back then, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the studies were like. Kind of, yeah, he does. They definitely talk about it. I won't tell you explicitly, but there's some moments in this where like they're showing stuff and there's flashbacks. Me and my brother looked at each other and went, "What the fuck?" Gwyneth Paltrow is in this. She's great. Apparently, she was like retired from acting for like 5 years and came out to do this movie, which I didn't know. But she's great in this. It's a very this is a strong R-rated movie. Not like it's not like super gory,
Adult
but just like
situations. Adult situations.
adult content. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's very adult stuff constantly in this movie from the beginning to the end. But it's funny as hell. It can be cruel at times. I think it's a mean movie in a lot of ways, which I think will rub some people the wrong way because it's like I think our brains are fixed to just believe that when you're watching a movie, no matter how bad things are, like they typically work out for the protagonist to a degree. Like um, there's a lot of like when you watch these Safdie brothers movies, there's a lot of people shit just doesn't work out for, and that's just kind of the movie. And there's some of that here. They do a little bit of zigzagging, but Tyler, the creator's in this, who's a rapper. This is his first role. He's really good. Um, I thought that I really it's hard for me to pick anything I didn't like about it. I thought okay, I'll say the line because they just showed it in the trailer. There's one where this dude's like trying to kick him out of this apartment, and the guy's like trying to like threaten him because he's bigger than him, and then Marty's like, "Oh, you want to get physical like an ape?" Like it's just constantly lines like that, just random bullshit that this guy does. But it's like It's just following the hijinks of his life and career over the course of a set amount of time. And the actual ping pong stuff in here, when you're watching him play table tennis, it's riveting. Like the way they shoot it, they make it look like you're watching like a real bona fide sports movie. Like the dramatic music, the commentary, all that, the way they shoot it, the lower thirds, it's very well done. Um, quite a good movie, Marty Supreme.
It sounds like a sandwich. That is that his last name? Supreme? Is that his last?
No, his last name is Mauser. It's Marty Mauser. He's a Jewish young man, but they call him Marty Supreme because the ball brand is Marty Supreme.
Okay.
The ping pong balls, they say Marty Supreme on them, which I don't know if that's a real brand or if they made it up for the movie, but that's in universe. That's the the reason.
Basically,
it's
if you
called
want an
that.
R-rated Balls of Fury, you can watch this.
Maybe, yeah. I would recommend it. It's so good. It's really good. It's A24, so that means I guess where do they put their stuff? It'll be on like HBO Max probably later this year. I think February, maybe they said it'll be on video.
I
But
mean, yeah, I mean, it depends, right? It depends. Like, I've noticed that the better it does in the box office, boy, do they fucking drag that to streaming.
no,
Like,
no, this one they've announced it's coming. No, this one they've announced this one's coming.
because Nicole wants to watch
HBO
Wicked too, but I'm like, that's not coming out until like 2 years from now. Like, they're not gonna release that on streaming forever. Takes so
It'll be a while.
long.
It'll be yeah. It's gonna like end later this year, maybe this summer. Peacock will have it though. It's Universal. Um, Kevin O'Leary, Greg. I don't know if you've ever watched Shark Tank. He's one of the guys on Shark Tank. He's in this movie as one of the characters. Really good. Didn't know he acted. Um, yeah, it's a good movie. Also, just like an interesting. It's a good like American dream movie. It's a good movie that like really like breaks down and analyzes what is the American dream and like just the highs and lows of what it is to like really truly pursue your dream, like to just relentlessly at the risk of everything else in your life, just like pursue one goal you have. Like what that can truly do to a person and the people around them. Is just it's just a fascinating character study.
Period piece too. I mean, like 40 is
It's
expensive.
a
We talk
period
about this
piece,
all the
yeah.
time. It's very expensive period pieces.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it looks great. It looks really good. Um, I think you would find it fascinating. At the very least, you would like the production of it. But yes, good old Malty Supreme. Did you have anything else you wanted to review here?
Didn't watch the dog movie.
No, you've got to watch it. You need to sign up for AMC Plus and watch the dog movie. I'm sure you can get a free month subscription. In fact, if
Sorry,
you
I
watch
gotta
it, I'll
play
watch
this.
it.
If you'd ever seen this, is a terrible film called Balls of Fury. Came out in 2007. Christopher Walken, but it has that one guy. Because you brought up ping pong, I was the only thing I could think of that movie about ping pong was this movie. Have you seen this movie, Donovan? Have you seen this movie?
No, I've not. No, I haven't seen this
It has
movie.
the guy from the he's a comedian turned like serious actor now. Like he's I forget what his name is, but he's in all the Fantastical Beasts movies. It kind of that was like put him on the map. But he'd been acting for like decades before that. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's about a ping pong champion. He's the best.
Yeah.
He wants to be the
Oh.
best in the world.
I saw The Housemaid, the Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried book adaptation.
Wait, what's
Does
it called?
Nicole
Oh, the
want to see that?
Housemaid. Hold on, the Housemaid.
The Housemaid. It seems up Nicole's alley. It's based on a book, very popular book. It's essentially this woman gets hired to be the housemaid for this couple, but it's very clear that everything is like not what it seems, and it's very like creepy, but it's also super like sexy and sultry sort of vibe. I mean, they cast fucking Sydney Sweeney to play the main character. It seems like something Nicole would have been into. I'm surprised she hasn't asked you about this movie, but it's okay. It's there's definitely a range of acting performances being given here. It's one of those movies where like Sydney Sweeney's the lead and Amanda Seyfried's like the co-lead, or I guess the playing opposite her. It kind of feels like they're in two different movies. Amanda, it's very campy. Like, and Amanda Seyfried is going for the camp. Amanda Seyfried, who you may recognize from Mamma Mia, or Jennifer's Body, of course. She's going for it.
Or Veronica Mars, which you're gonna watch, right? You're gonna watch Veronica Mars on Netflix.
Yep, I will at some point.
Dude, I promise you. Please start. You will love it. Sorry, continue. She's in Veronica
I'm going
Mars too.
to.
But yeah, so continue.
She gives a perfect performance for this movie because it's supposed to be campy and absurd. It's based on a book that got spun off into like a series with 3 entries in it. Then Sydney Sweeney's not really playing like she's in the same movie. She's a bit more like reserved and quiet and serious. So maybe that's just the character. But yeah, it's just, you're taking over to watch this house for this family, and then it's like weird. There's something wrong with these people. What's going on here? What are the secrets buried beneath? And then yeah, it's just this slow descent. She's got a husband here who's played by Brian Skellner, who's a very very handsome man who was also in a movie called Drop that I liked.
Oh, we watched Drop.
But
That's a good one too. Yeah.
yeah, he's the date in Drop, plays the husband in this. He's good. He's always just playing those like quiet, understanding, attractive guy where he's like, no, it's okay. No, I get it. That's like his character in every
I'm here to
movie.
listen to you.
Yeah, he's like, no, I understand. He's
I'm
like,
gonna
no, I'm
change
not
for
judging
you.
you. Yeah, I love you. I care about you. But yeah, I thought it was just okay. I think the third act is pretty good. Once this movie gets to the twists, I'm like, oh, okay. It gets really interesting. But a lot of the buildup is drawn out and a little silly. But it kicks into a gear.
I mean,
at
it's
a certain point.
Lionsgate, right? That's kind of their thing, right? Their lower budget, kind of more
Yeah.
campy stuff.
This did really well at the theater. I went and saw it. My theater was packed, and I saw online. It did. I think it might be over 100 million. They already greenlit the sequel. It did so well because the books are beloved. People love these books. The house made because they made it came out like 2020, 2021. Then she made like sequels to it, and then it's got some steamy moments in there. It's got some catering if you like a little bit of sexual flair in your cinema. So
I'm happy to see Sydney Sweeney do something like this because I feel like she's still trying to find her brand because I think she came out kind of like, guns blazing, but everyone wanted to hire her in movies as like the hot girl, right? The hot girl, the hot girl, the hot girl. But and that can be exhausting for an actor. Like I'm happy that she's doing stuff like this and think she should continue to do stuff like this to show people that she does have chops or that she can do more than just play like, the hot femme fatale or the hot friend or whatever.
she's definitely still supposed to be hot in this movie. That's definitely still part of her character. Is that because the whole thing is like she's watching over this family, but then Amanda Seyfried's like, "Don't look at my husband. He doesn't want you. Don't talk to my husband." There's still an angle of like, there's a very beautiful woman in our home, which I mean that's gonna follow Sydney Sweeney everywhere. But I mean, don't get me wrong, she's not terrible in this movie. I just think Amanda Seyfried's given the best performance. She's given like when when a movie has a silly premise, you want somebody that's gonna like ratchet up to a 10 and just play like they're in a silly movie. And she's like fucking crazy in this thing, as you can see in some of these trailer shots.
Is it streaming?
But,
Is it streaming yet or?
Not yet. This is Lionsgate. Yeah, no, not yet. This is it still. I think it might have just left theaters. It came out like a month ago, so you have some time. But when this comes to streaming, this will be a Nicole movie. I bet. I bet you she will like it.
I'll watch it with her.
There you go. But that's all I had as far as movies, TV to review. Unless you had anything, we can go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. I think.
Oh God, I wish I could remember the horror. Like, it's never a good sign when you don't remember the horror movie you watched over break. Like, it must not have been that good or that
No.
scary.
Yeah. Although this doesn't happen to me because I just put everything in Letterboxd because I'm a psychopath.
See, I used to do that, but the problem is with Letterboxd is we watch so much television. Like, we watch way more television,
they
new
don't do
television,
TV,
than we
yeah.
do movies, just in general.
No, it's mainly a movie app. They said they're adding TV though, but I don't know when that's going to be.
Breaking
alright.
Bad, 20 Days Later, the Black.
Oh,
I
bring her
wanted
back
to
to-
watch. I wanted to watch Black Phone 2. Nicole said no.
Black Phone 2's creepy, man. Black Phone 2's creepy.
Oh, Frankenstein. We watched Frankenstein because I made her watch that. That was the one I made her watch.
Oh, I need to watch that still. Was it good?
Guillermo's always different. Like he's
Uh-oh.
like he's an auteur. Like that's what he is, right? Like if
He is.
it's not, it doesn't. There's really no climax. There's really no like resolution. And more importantly, to quote my wife, ugh, so Victorian because there's no like there's love interest, but it's very Victorian. Like
Yeah, I'm sure.
I thought that was funny. She's like, oh, we might see her ankle in the sequels. Like so. But I mean, Guillermo del Toro is he's a very visual director. He does what he wants to do, and he's well learned. He does location scouting, builds all of his sets, does the makeup.
Yeah,
everything was to scale. It's just a very interesting story on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It's different. Like I've seen better renditions of Frankenstein, but that's just his, and that's just the thing. Like that Frankenstein's one of those things that you read it, and many writers and movie makers and have been inspired by that book because it's such a classic book. It's like the core of that. And
That's
he
classic
explores the
literature,
same
yeah.
thing that you see in like other movies. Like is he human? Does he love? What does he want? um
Yeah.
Vengeance and science and all that stuff. It's visually fantastic. I mean, Guillermo always makes his shit so visually fantastic. I love sets, and he builds all of his sets as much as he's in multiple interviews, including when we've interviewed with him for. He's like, I build as much as the studio lets me build. That's what he said. Like I think in
Which in
Pacific
this case
Rim,
it's Netflix, so probably a lot.
yeah, a lot. But like there was like I don't know, like a 200-foot castle. Obviously, you couldn't build that. But like I think he did interviews with Pacific Rim too. Like he wanted to build one of them to scale, and they're like, you get one leg, you get one leg, bro, one full leg. That's the one thing you get to
Yeah.
build, and he used it. He used it well. Yeah, I'd watch it. It's very Victorian, very old school, beautiful production, great set design. Again, production designer, costume designer should get awards for these stuff, and maybe they might, but they should be.
They might. Oscar nominations are coming out next week, folks.
They should get more awards. Production designer and costume designer and set designer should be getting more awards for this stuff because it's so gorgeous. You know,
I bet it does. Yeah.
it sticks out in a good way, right? So yeah, I mean, it was good, very Victorian, very Victorian.
Nice. I'm going to watch it at some point before the Oscars. I think it's going to get nominated for some stuff, so I'll check it out. It's on my list. But with that, I think that's going to do it for our show today. Thank you everybody for joining us on our first show back. We appreciate it as always. But that's going to do it for myself, for Greg. This has been episode 180 of Shacknews Presents Pop Goes the Culture. Remember to follow us on all the socials. We're everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And then go to shacknews.com for the best news, guides, previews, videos, interviews in the gaming business. But until next Thursday, take care of yourselves and have a good time. We'll see you then. Peace out.